Unit 3. Tax registration. Any company or natural person planning to do business in this country shall enroll in the tax register and obtain a tax number. The application for a new tax resident can be submitted by individuals, legal entities or partnerships. The application should be accompanied with the relevant documentation accordingly. Copy of ID or passport or yellow slip, residence permit, or a verified tax ID from a foreign country. Rental contract or a copy of a utility bill in Cyprus, in the case of an individual. Copy of shareholder's certification, copy of office registered address certification, copy of company registration certificate, a copy of agreement in the case of a partnership. The CY tax ID is usually issued within 2 days. A tax number is an identification mark assigned to a taxable person and used in connection with any of the taxes. Its purpose is to enable a uniform data definition and connection within tax records managed by the tax authority. Everyone in Cyprus must register himself at the Cyprus Tax Department and obtain a tax ID if her or his gross income exceeds the yearly amount of €19,500. In addition, any company registered in Cyprus is obliged to be registered to the tax department as well and obtain a tax ID number as a legal entity. The tax number is assigned to the business legal entities automatically during the registration procedure. Registration with the tax department is achieved by A. Filling in the Form TD 2001 application for obtaining tax number, find the application here. B. Filling in, additionally, the Form TD 1101 additional application for VAT registration only for those who wish to activate their registration for VAT purposes, find the application here. The above-mentioned forms must be submitted either by hand to the local district officers of the tax department, or by hand or mailed to the PSC Cyprus One-Stop Shop. As previously mentioned, when an entrepreneur chooses to enter the VAT system, he/she must submit in person an application to the TaxisNet system of the Inland Revenue Department. TD 1101 form is submitted at the same time with Form TD 2001. See the application here. To obtain a tax number, a natural person must submit the TD 2001 form either by hand to the local district officers of the tax department, or by hand or mailed to the PSC Cyprus One-Stop Shop. See the application here. All applications must be originally signed and be accompanied by 1. A copy of an official receipt document, proving that the person carries out taxable activities transactions in the Republic of Cyprus, for example copy of a contract, copy of an invoice related to his or its activities transactions or other document, when a registration for VAT purposes applies. 2. Specific evidence as listed below for each individual case. The cases described below are the most common and do not constitute a comprehensive list. Physical person. O. Copy of identity card. European citizen. O. Copy of certificate of registration from the Civil Registry and Immigration Department. Non-European citizen. O. Copy of residence card from the Civil Registry and Migration Department. Legal entities, companies. O. Copy of the Certificate of Incorporation. O. Copy of the Certificate of Registered Office. O. Copy of the Certificate of Directors and Secretary. O. Copy of the Shareholder's Certificate, where applicable. Partnership. O. Copy of Partnership Registration Certificate. O. Form Greek letter Phi, Greek letter Pi, Greek letter Alpha, 102, available only in the Greek language. Provident funds unions and foundations. O. Certificate of registration. O. Minutes of a recent general meeting signed by the acting board of directors. Business name. O. Copy of business name registration certificate. International business entities, companies registered in the Republic of Cyprus whose main business activities are conducted abroad. O. Questionnaire for the registration, for VAT purposes, of international business entities, where applicable. Physical and illegal persons who are not registered with the registries of Cypriot authorities. O. Necessary identification evidence must be provided in the Greek language from the competent authorities abroad, for example tax identification number, identification card, social insurance registration number. A physical person's passport is not regarded as identification evidence and should not be attached. O. Signed letter from the person or the authorized representative of the company explaining the reason for applying for registration with the tax department. The above-mentioned forms must be submitted either by hand to the local district offices of the tax department, or by hand or mail to the PSC Cyprus One-Stop Shop. The Tax Identification Number, TIC, is issued within 1-3 working days. The VAT registration certificate is issued and sent by post within 8-12 days. There are no costs for obtaining VAT or VAT ID number. The Form TD 2003 Amendment of Taxpayers' Data is only completed when an already registered taxpayer, registered with the Registry of the Tax Department, wishes to modify his or its personal data, and it is submitted by hand to the local district offices of the Tax Department. By using a point of single contact to register a business, many things can be done at one-stop shop. In addition, foreign investors can be provided with further advice and guidance in specific fields, covered by points of single contact. However, each FDI advisor should fill in all the presented forms in order to understand completely what the forms require from foreign investors.